Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the WPS podcast. That is Why People Suck. I'm Celia, and I'm joined by my co host, best friend, and sister, Alejandra.
Hi, everyone. Glad to be back for another episode where we call out all the ways people are super annoying and talk about what we can actually do about it. We say it so you don't have to. Today, we're talking about people who are late. First of all, I just want to say that in some cultures, it is perfectly acceptable for people to be late, our culture included. We are Latins, so Latins are notoriously late things, but we find this very annoying.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we all have, just because we grew up with Latin people and that's just like kind of part of the culture, we have a lot of stories about this. Celia, do you want to kick us off with a story or any
Y-
examples?
yes, absolutely. Oh my goodness. I remember one time going to a friend's quinceañera, and we all arrived not exactly at the time that the invitation said, but we got there 2 hours before she did. And apparently, one of our friends was texting with her, and she was only just getting her hair done 1 hour into the party time, like, the start of the party. And we were all like, "Where is she? What's going on here? Are we in the right place?" We were just so confused. At least we were all there, or not all there, but a lot of us were there, so we were like, "Fine, we'll just have a party without her, I guess." So, yeah. Maybe it was more than 2 hours at this point, I don't even remember, but I was just like, "This has got to be one of the craziest examples of people being late to stuff and it just being super frustrating and annoying," because I'm like, "Wow, it's like your day, you're not even here for part of it? That's crazy."
That is crazy. Oh my gosh. So the party started at what, at like 6? And then you guys showed up at what, like 7 or something probably? And then an hour later, she was still just getting her hair done at like 8?
Yeah.
That's insane. Also, you guys are 15. Do you have a curfew?
Yeah, that too. So, it was just like, okay, she arrived and we had an hour with her or something insane like that.
Oh my gosh, and they probably paid so much money for this party because quinceañeras are notoriously, like, very fancy parties. They're almost like as big as a wedding.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Oh my gosh, that's horrible. But yeah, I have a friend that's just chronically late, and it's so infuriating sometimes to the point where it's gotten so bad that I don't even make plans when it's just with her anymore. I won't be like, "Hey, let's you and me go to lunch." It has to be a group thing, and I'll be like, "I'm going with other people. If you wanna come, great," because she will just straight up be, like, 3 hours late to dinner.
Oh
And I'm like,
my
I can't do that. I can't, like, say I'm gonna meet you at 7, and then you don't show up until 10. I
yeah.
showed up hungry. I wanna eat.
Totally, and then it's like you have to go by a certain time or maybe you have stuff to do afterwards, so it's like,
Yeah.
"Okay, so we're just gonna spend 15 minutes together?" Or the worst thing is if they expect you to just stay there as long as they want afterwards, and you're like, "No, I've already been here 3 hours, man, I'm exhausted."
Yeah, and it's come to there are times when I waited for her for an hour, and then I was like, "I'm leaving."
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, like, I've been sitting there by myself for an hour waiting for you. That's not fun for me, and also this is a waste of my time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's a great idea to always make plans with other people when you know your friend or whoever you're meeting is one of those people who's always late.
Yeah, that's how I've made that one work for me. The friendship work is just I just have to invite her with other people, and if she shows up, I can't get upset about it because at least I have other people to talk to.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good idea. And also just being like, okay, I can do from this time to this time. If you're late, I'm going to have to leave at that time that I agreed on. So you're setting your boundaries. Like you don't have infinite time to give to people who are late.
No, people who are like that, that they just give me the impression that they don't care about my time, and I just don't find that amusing.
Super selfish.
Yeah. One thing I would say, if you care about hanging out with people like that, another thing to do is you could give them a fake start time. I found
Mhm.
that that works. You could be like, let's meet up for dinner at 6, but you don't actually show up until 8.
Yeah.
And like they may be just getting there at that time, or maybe they've had to wait for you. And then you know what? Maybe a little taste of their own medicine might help.
Yeah. Oh man, I've done that. And still, they're even later than I am.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so those people, I don't know. I don't know. You just have to I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe don't go to dinner. Maybe just be like, let's meet up at a bar and
Yeah. Somewhere where you don't feel weird being alone or
Yeah.
again invite other friends.
Yeah, yeah.
Have a book with you or something.
Yeah, seriously, it's just I don't know, I always find it so strange when people don't have good time management skills because 'cause I'm just I don't know, I get so stressed being late to things, like, I get anxiety about it, I'm just like, "Oh my gosh, they're sitting there waiting for me," even though they may not actually care as much as I do, but I do care 'cause I just don't like it. It really stresses me out to be late to things.
Yeah, same here. I get
Mhm.
so anxious. I just hate making other people wait. And so when people make me wait, I'm just like aghast.
I know.
So disrespectful.
Yeah.
This reminds me of that episode of Friends, Phoebe's birthday.
Oh, oh my gosh, I hated every single one of them, and I love that show so much, but yeah.
Every single one of the other friends was late to her birthday party, and they just had really ridiculous excuses, and it's just, like, you showing that you're not putting your friend first. That irritated me so much. That's one of my least favorite episodes for sure.
I know, it gave me anxiety actually just thinking about it, I'm just like, "Oh my god, that was so terrible," because at the beginning of the episode, she was like, "Hey, we're gonna meet up on this day, does that work for everybody?" And she even checked beforehand to make sure that it worked for everybody, and they were all like, "Yes, we will be there, absolutely," and then they were all so late, and they had a big table for everybody, and that's the most stressful thing at a restaurant when you have a big table
Mhm.
and the people don't show up, the waiters are, like, trying to move you because obviously they're losing money also. But, like, especially at a popular restaurant, they're not gonna let you just sit there, so then they changed them to a smaller table. It was
Yeah,
just oh my gosh. It was ridiculous, yeah.
yeah. It's the whole thing. But then I'm also thinking other things to do is, like, check if you're meeting a friend, be like, "Okay, I'm on my way. Are you on your way?" But then some people lie, right? They're like, "Oh, yeah, I'm 20 minutes away," and that's a lie. So then I'm like, "Maybe use Find My Friends or something. I'm gonna actually track you because this is
Yeah,
ridiculous."
yeah, for the friends that are chronically late, you'd be like, "I need to be able to track you because this is important." That's a
Share
good
your
idea.
location.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Oh my god, the people that lie, that makes me even more mad because at this point, like, if I'm already waiting for you and you're like, "I'll be there in 5 minutes," and then it's been 5 minutes and you're like, "Where are you? You're still not here."
Yeah.
It's just so uncomfortable.
Oh my gosh, you feel so betrayed, like, when your trainer says, "Just 30 more seconds," and then they're like, "Actually, just do 30 more."
Ugh.
Oh.
Yeah, no, you can't lie like that. That's just mean.
Mhm. Yeah. Another thing I'm thinking about is how terrible the people who are late to events where it's actually a disruption, say for like a wedding or a graduation or even going to the movies or the theater and you're late causing a disruption, that is just the worst in my opinion.
Oh, yeah, it's even worse when you're going to the movies and you're meeting up with somebody and they're late and you're like, "I'm not gonna miss the movie," but you have the tickets or something, so you can't even go in without them or something like that. That's
Mhm.
so annoying.
Yeah. Or to a concert or something, I was thinking about that because that actually did happen to me.
Oh
And then
my
I missed the
gosh.
beginning, and it's so cool to see when the artist comes up on stage and all that excitement, and I had to miss it.
Oh my gosh, that's so annoying, and you paid money for that.
Exactly.
Oh, that's irritating.
Very. But yeah, at graduations or weddings or things like that where there's, like, a set schedule and people have known way in advance, that also gets me. It's like, that day
Yeah.
is needs to be set on your schedule, like, you need to be on time, this is for someone you care about. You cannot be a disruption on someone's important milestone day.
Yeah, I just don't understand what goes through these people's heads, like, how does that work for you, just being late to everything? I don't get it. Also, what
Yeah.
are you doing? Do you like living like this? Is what I wanna know? Because again, that would stress me out being late to absolutely everything. I don't think I can't handle that. I just can't.
Yeah.
But then also, how do these people work just in society? Like, how do you is it okay for you to just be 2 hours late to work? Are you just 2 hours late to work every day?
Mhm.
And that's okay, and you don't get fired? I don't understand.
I don't understand either, that's a great point,
Yeah.
actually, because these people who are chronically late to everything, like, that has to affect their everyday life too.
Yeah.
Imagine being a parent who's always late to pick up their kid, like, I'd feel so bad for the kids. That used to happen at my high school. I would always see kids there 2 or 3 hours later because I would stay for basketball practice, and there's kids who were just waiting around like they don't have after school activities, and I'm like, "I feel so bad for you."
Yeah, that's terrible. So
Right?
sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with the work thing, I when I was working at an architecture firm, like, we would often work late, so people would come in late the next day, but that was nice, like, once in a while, like, if you do work late, but the idea that you're always late because you're expected to stay late, that was annoying to me because if I had plans because everyone was late or that specific person was late and they wanna talk to me at the end of the day, I'm like, "No, I was on time today. I'm not gonna be sticking around just because you missed 2 hours of the morning when you could have talked to me."
Yeah, plus you were there.
Exactly, I was there,
Yeah,
so I don't
you're
wanna stay.
you're 8 hours timed out, you're done.
Exactly, like, my brain does not function after those 8 hours. I am done.
I'm usually done about after about 6, but yeah.
No, I
But
think
I'm still there.
oh, yeah, totally. I think there are studies that show that people can't actually concentrate for that long. I am going to petition to shorten the workday. Who's with me?
Me, I second that. Let's get that movement going.
Yeah, totally. Oh, man, and this reminds me of another story of someone who was chronically late. In high school, there was this kid, he lived in the neighborhood right across from the school. Like, I did not there were lots of people who lived further away, and we were on time, and this kid, every single day, he was late, and it was just we were all like, "Dude, you live across the street. We don't understand. Why are you late?" And it was also so close every time, like, we would see him walking towards the classroom door, and then the bell would ring, and then the teacher would be like, "Oh my god, again, you have to go to the office and get a tardy sleep," which really sucked because he was, like, right there.
You
If he
could
had
see
only
him.
yes, if he could only leave his house 30 seconds sooner, I just don't understand when it's always the people who live the closest to a location that are late. This happens so much with my friends where I live the furthest, but I get there first, and I'm like, "Why? You knew this time, and, like, I'm coming from all the way across town to see you," and it's just so disrespectful.
It is. It so is. It's ridiculous. I don't get it.
Me either. I guess other than some of the advice that we've given for making sure people aren't late, like giving them an earlier start time if you know they're gonna be late, tracking them, tracking their location, and also just, like, making plans with friends. I also think that, like, for a big event, it's good to put someone in charge of minimizing the disruptions. Like, for example, at a wedding, have your wedding planner be like, "Okay, you were late, you cannot come in to the ceremony right now because it's gonna be really annoying," or something like that, or whatever big event you might have that is also as important as that.
Yeah. Also, if you're one of those people that's late all the time, I would really love to talk to you. Like, I just want to get into your brain and see how does this work for your everyday life? I'm so curious. And do you think it's cool to do that to people or do you feel bad? I'm so interested to know what exactly goes on in a person's head that does this. Not to be
Yeah.
judgy. Maybe it'll help me be less judgy about it and maybe more
Yeah.
understanding.
No, that's true. Because this is for people who are, like, chronically late. Obviously, every now and then, everyone's gonna be late, but I also want an apology or, like, tell me you're running late and then say that you're sorry. But there's just people who don't even acknowledge it too, and
Yeah.
I'm like, "Wait, are we living on different planets?"
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Actually, I just remembered a really funny story that when we were at Christmas, not this past year, but the previous year, that I heard my cousin say or tell us about our parents, because our parents are actually very on time too. And we all had to function in living where we lived, being having to be like, okay, the invite's at 6, but you don't actually show up till 8 and dinner isn't until 10, and that's just how it is. But
Mm.
like when you know that's how it is, and that's fine. But my parents show up to my cousin's house at the time that she invited for lunch, which was like 1 o'clock, every single Sunday. And every single Sunday, my cousin is still she's like in the shower at 1 o'clock, still getting ready. And she's telling me the story from her angle
Mm.
of her being like, and can you believe that I can hear them out there being like, nobody's out here to tell us hello. So I guess we're just going to leave. And I'm still trying to get ready to meet them and be their good host. And they're my guests. And they're just sitting there telling me that I'm running late to my own house. But it was so funny that she was just it's like, well, you know them. Don't invite them at 1 o'clock. Invite them at 3 o'clock then if you don't want them to show up at 1 o'clock.
That is so funny. Oh, man. Okay, now we get an insight into one of
Yeah.
these people who's
Yeah.
always running late.
And
They'll get insulted by us being on time. That's crazy. We are living on different planets.
we really are. And you know what? Here's some advice for you. If you know that the person is not a chronically late person, give them a fake time. Tell them to show up 2 hours after you want your invite to go out.
Yeah.
So if that way they're not showing up when you're still in the shower or getting your hair done or whatever.
Yeah. That's good advice. So, do you have any final stories to share with us?
I don't, which is funny because I thought we'd kind of have more. I think it just happens so often where we're from that it
Mhm.
just became such a, we're just used to this. And like, you invite us at X hour, we're going to show up 2 hours late because that's how it is here. And you
Yeah.
can talk to pretty much every Latin person and they'll tell you the same thing, but it just became the thing that we were used to. But yeah, those are pretty much the only stories I could think of that really jump out at me.
Yeah, same here.
I would really love to hear some examples from people because I'm sure you've had some really horrible stories, listeners, and also people who are chronically late or just late all the time. Let us know your point of view. We're more than happy to hear it. We want to know what's going through your head.
Yes, please. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of the WPS podcast. And we'll see you next time. We said it, so you didn't have to. Remember to follow us at the WPS podcast, like and comment, and DM us your stories.
See you next time. Bye.